welcome to today's video. We are doing a get ready with me. It's a longer type of video. We are chatting about some products. I'm getting ready with you on camera. We're having some fun, mixing some products, creating our own concoctions for foundations, concealers, playing with some glitter on the eyes, doing a lip combo that has been my go-to, just plugging in some of my favorites, some rediscovered things in my collection, and just having some fun. So if you want to do your makeup with me, take out all of your makeup goodies, let's get ready together and let's get started. I'm gonna go straight into my primer. This is the Hourglass Vanish Airbrush Primer. This was a small one that came with my order when I bought the holiday palette from Hourglass website. And I actually have been using this on and off for the last few weeks, and I do enjoy this primer. It's been a long time since I've used their primer. I'm not sure if they've reformulated since the last time I tried it, but I do enjoy how it's like very smoothing, and it just kind of sets a nice even base for my foundation. And I love using my BK Beauty 109 brush for applying my primer. It helps kind of keep my hands clean so they don't get all gooped up with makeup as I do my routine. The other primer that I have been loving is the Rare Beauty Pore Diffusing Primer. I bought a small one to revisit this because this was my go-to pretty much all of last year in summer when I was pregnant, but my skin during pregnancy was really dry. And so I decided to try the mini again to revisit now that my skin is sort of going back to its normal ways of being more combo, kind of dry, a little oily over the nose and the T-zone. And this is actually a really nice primer. So I'm going to just mix the two today. It's not essential to have both or to use both, but I just wanted to show you that one as well because I have been using that a lot. Foundation today, I'm going to do a mix for you because I love them both. The Double Wear, can't go wrong, from Estée Lauder, and the Smashbox Always On. I have the shade 1N0 Porcelain in Estée Lauder and then F30N in the Always On from Smashbox. I'm going to mix the two and I'm just going to apply. That's going to be my mix for the day. So I'm going to start by kind of dotting on a little bit of my Double Wear, just kind of randomly all over, just creating just little dots like so. I know it looks kind of silly. And then I just take a pump of this on my foundation brush, which is my NYX Pinnacle foundation brush. I've been loving this. This is actually a really great brush because it's triangular, but it gets the job done. I love it so much that I have two of them, and I also have two of the concealer brushes because I love them. And I'm just going to take a pump of the Smashbox and then just kind of do my little dots and kind of mix this in. The Smashbox is more of a closer match to me than the Estée Lauder Double Wear. The Double Wear is my like year-round shade, but I still have just a little bit of color that's hanging on from the summer. And so my skin is just a tad darker than normal. So the two together just are really, really pretty. The Estée Lauder wears beautifully throughout the day, and it doesn't move, it doesn't do weird things. It stays in place. It's just really, really nice. The Always On from Smashbox does get a little bit dewier as the day progresses, but it's a nice kind of healthy dewy kind of finish. It's not like dewy where it looks super oily, at least for my skin type. As I mentioned before, it's kind of combination. Some dry areas, a little bit of oily. And this supposedly has like a built-in thermostat. That's one of the claims, that it sort of adjusts with your skin so that it stays looking fresh and it doesn't get oily or too dry. I don't know if I believe all that. I think those are just marketing claims, but the combination is actually really beautiful. Concealer, same thing. I'm going to mix to show you both of them, but I love my Natasha Denona Hyglam. I have this in the P1 shade, which is just perfection. She really nailed it with this formula. I have used this on its own and mixed, as I will show you today, with other concealers, and I absolutely love how this sort of corrects and brightens the under eye. The other concealer is from Tower 28. This is the Serum Concealer. I have the shade BU, and it doesn't have a number, it just says the letters BU. And I'm going to do just one swipe right here. This one's just a little bit more kind of beigey compared to this one that's more peach from Natasha Denona. But both of them are really beautiful. I'm going to blend both of those together with the NYX Angled Concealer Brush. And I start by sort of bouncing and tapping the two together, like so, to really mix. And then I start just lightly tapping again to really get everything kind of blended. And once I have everything kind of spread through a larger area, I go back in with my beauty sponge and I get right into this inner part where it's sometimes hard to reach, especially with a brush that's a little bit wider. So I get right in there with the tip of my beauty sponge, and then I just kind of press this into the skin and just kind of pat. And it just kind of blends in incredibly smooth, and it makes the under eye area look so beautiful. And of course, my go-to is the Huda Beauty Easy Bake Powder. I have the shade called Pound Cake, and I just love it. I love the way this sort of perfects and kind of gives a filtered look to my under eye area without looking heavy or powdery. For my brows, I'm going to just use my go-to pencil, which is the Precisely My Brow from Benefit. I switched over to 3.5. I feel like that's a really good match for my brows. I was using 3, which still works. 4 is just a little darker, but I think 3.5 is a better option for me. So I'm just going to fill this in. And I do like to take my NYX Lift and Snatch and fill in little areas that are kind of sparse where I have missing hairs with this. This is a great little trick to do if you have areas with their bald spots like I do. I have many of those. This actually gives me a hair-like appearance there, and it looks really natural once I kind of take my spoolie and comb everything through. So I'm going to do that and then set it with the NYX Brow Glue. And I'll most likely kind of zip pass through this and be back to do bronzer and blush, because this does take a lot of time to do, and it is honestly quite boring. I've recently gotten back into my NARS cream bronzer, and I should have talked about this in my Sephora recommendations video. If you haven't seen it, I will link it here for the Sephora recommendations video. I think by the time this video goes up, the sale will be over, but for future shopping trips and just for some recommendations, that's always a good idea to kind of have that. If you like the things that I like, you'll find that video helpful. If you watched it already, let me know what you thought of it. But I should have included this because this is actually a good cream bronzer. This is the original Laguna 2. And I just love the tone. It's a little bit more on the rich side, and I have been just kind of digging my finger in on one end, not putting my brush in there because I don't want to transfer like germs and dirty brushes into this. And I can't stand when I can see bristles from my brushes in my cream products. That drives me nuts. So I just take a clean finger and I pick up quite a bit. It is very rich, very dark. You know, I just kind of, I'm going to just dab it. I'm wiping my fingers off here. I like to just work from a makeup palette. I have one that I use from Amazon that I've had for years. And so what I like to do is just kind of work it into my brush and then just kind of start patting this in and just tapping. And it blends so incredibly well. And as you can see, that kind of sat there for a little bit as I was getting my brush and kind of talking with you. And it's not dry to the point where it's set and it's not moving. I still have some playtime to really blend that in, and that dark, intense color does not look that intense when it's on the skin. It's really, really beautiful, and it blends so, so well. I love it. But I also really like my Charlotte Tilbury cream bronzer, the one that's like a really large disc shape. I use the medium shade in that, and both of them are really similar in tone, but they have that kind of creaminess, but they're not so dewy and emollient and wet looking on the skin. Because sometimes I feel like that finish will kind of eat through your foundation. And I just like my cream products to be just a little bit more on the drier side. Not as like oily and emollient. I don't know. I'm kind of picky when it comes to cream products for that reason, because I don't want it to eat through my foundation and kind of move things around as I blend and move my foundation and products as the day wears on. So I just absolutely love this. So I've been debating about using my House Labs bronzer, but I'm going to do it because it's kind of like second nature at this point. Ever since I started using this bronzer, I just love using it, and it makes its way into my routine every single day. Even if I already applied a powder bronzer, I find myself kind of sneaking this in because I just really like it. It's velvety, it's smooth, it's easy to work with. I wear shade light level 2, and it's just really, really perfect. I think what I want to do is switch gears and just stay here with the bronzer and then move on to eyes and then come back to do blush at the end, depending on where I go with this. So I have a couple palettes out on my vanity that I really wanted to use. The Charlotte Tilbury one that came out for the holidays, it has the sparkles and the glitters that I'm kind of aiming to use, so I may go for this today. The Ethereal Eyes by Makeup by Mario came back. I hope it's still in stock when I post this video, but this was released last year and re-released a couple weeks back. And if you haven't had a chance to get it and you're interested, this would be the time to snag that. And then I have the Cosmos palette from ABH. I don't know if I want to do duochromes. I'm kind of feeling something kind of glittery. So before I go into the eyeshadow, I'm going to take a little bit of my Kosas Cloud Set powder, which is in the shade called Airy. I'm going to go with a fluffy brush and just set my Paint Pot by MAC, just kind of super quick, haphazard, just slap that on. It doesn't need to be perfect or anything, just to make sure that everything is kind of soft and set so that I don't have any issues with blending, which most likely I won't because I'm using the Charlotte Tilbury. This is the Beautyverse palette that I did a video solely dedicated to this. I also talked about it in my makeup updates video. So I'm going to start my look off with this cool tone, kind of grayish tan shade here, and this is a kind of taupey type of shade. It's called a Future Matte Formula, and I'm going to use a big fluffy brush. This is from Milani, and I'm going to just start sweeping this right into my crease, and I can literally do my entire eye look in just a few minutes. Like, it's just truly easy to use, and just like that, I've applied that color. I still need to kind of blend a little bit more towards my brow bone, but look how quick that was. I'm telling you, the formula of these is just out of this world. So if you did shop the Sephora sale, if it's still going on, what did you get? Were you able to get all your stuff? I don't know. I feel like I have a love-hate relationship right now with Sephora because the app and the website were having so many problems. And I'm pretty sure by the time this video goes up, I would have maybe already posted my haul video. If not, it'll be the next one that goes posted on the channel. But I was kind of disappointed that I was having such hard time getting into my account to place my order. I had set up my stuff in advance, like the night before. And then I was kind of going back and forth trying to decide on a couple things that I've had my eye on for some time. And I just had a lot of problems trying to place my order. So I just checked out whenever I finally got my cart to show up, and I just bought whatever was in my cart. And so I'm hoping that I could get some of those out of stock items soon because some things did sell out. I'm going back in with my crease brush from ColourPop and just blending a little bit more, that same shade, not adding any more product, just blending this out. I'm going to take a smaller brush with the same color, and I'm going to use this on my lower lash line. So I don't know what was different this time around than the sale in the springtime because I didn't experience any issues anytime that I went on the app or the website during the spring sale a couple months back. And last year, during this time last year, whenever they had the sale, no problems, no issues. So I have no idea. That's kind of weird, right? How it was just having so many problems. So I hope you were able to get your stuff because I know how frustrating that is. And I just didn't even bother for several days. I think it was towards the tail end that I decided to place another order, but no, not cool, Sephora. Okay, so now we're gonna go into, I think I wanna take a little bit more of the kind of warmish shade, so I'm gonna go right next door and same brush and just add that mostly right here on this outer part and then just blend that in just slightly into that kind of cooler taupey shade. You see how pretty these colors are? And they're just easy to work with. I'm gonna go back into my ColourPop brush and just continue blending and adding just a little bit more. So I'm gonna just blend and soften these edges with a clean brush. I'm not taking any product. I don't have anything on it. And I'm just kind of blending those edges. Go back in with a little bit more of that warm shade, which actually is called Supernova Suede, also a Future Matte. I'm going to switch to my 204 from BK Beauty, and I'm going to go into the deeper shade, which is the more warm tone. And that one is called Space Chocolate, also a Future Matte formula. And that's going to go on my lower lash line. I'm going to wipe off that brush, and then I'm going to go into the virtual taupe to blend this out. And I know it looks crazy, but you got to trust the process. I'm going to continue blending this out. And once we do mascara and lashes, upper and lower liner, it's all going to come together. I know it looks a little, I look a little crazy. Oh! I'm having a hard time debating what color I want to use for my eyes. So these are some of these two are the purple, and then in the center is that kind of rose gold. So basically that whole bottom row. Do you see how pretty those are? They have a little less pigment than some other brands, but they have a lot of sparkle to them, and I like it. So I think I'm going to start with this purpley shade here. So this light one in the center called Digital Lilac, and it's a crystal glow. And I'm going to just use my finger. I feel like that's probably going to be the best way to get the most payoff on this. Oof. Do you see that? Oh man. I love this. So pretty. And making sure that it meets right into my crease. I'm not bringing it up high, but I just want to make sure that there's not a gap between the glitter and the crease shade. I do want to take a little bit of this kind of pinky shade here. This is called the Cosmic Pink. It's a Future Matte. And I'm going to take my crease brush and use just a little bit of this right above my crease. Ever so slightly. And this one does feel a little bit drier than the other ones, but it still feels kind of velvety. The other ones feel more creamy-like. So that top row. Then I'm going to take a flat eyeshadow brush and that really warm shade, and I'm going to use this to add a little bit more richness and depth right here on this outer part of my eye. And interestingly enough, when I layered that brown, which is a very warm brown, that's called Space Chocolate, over this purple, it almost looks like a kind of plummy brown. Really, really pretty and actually quite fun, because it adds a little bit of depth, but it took on a little bit of that purpley tone as I layer these two shades together. And I'm just placing this color right now. I'll go back and blend in a moment. And I'm just blending out the edge just a little bit. And you know what? I think what I want to do is I want to take this purple shade here that's a little bit deeper. See, this is the one that I use all over my lid. This is just a little bit deeper, and I'm going to take that with my middle finger, and I'm going to just press that right where this dark chocolate color meets into this light Digital Lilac. I want to kind of cover that line with a little bit of this kind of purpley shade, just right in through here. And that just completely disguised that line of where the matte meets that purple lilac shade. Just right there. And so when the light catches it, it's lighter, a little bit more kind of purpley pink, and then into that sort of, I would say kind of plummy brown. That's the way it looks to me. So I'm going to go in with my Victoria Beckham Satin Kajal liner in the cocoa shade. I also took out my black liquid liner from Benefit. I wasn't quite sure if I wanted to do black or brown, but I think I'm going to start with the brown first. And I'm just going to do a line that's pretty thin, following the natural shape of my eye, not doing anything special with the liner, because I don't want to do it so thick that it covers up a lot of the glitter. I've been doing thick eyeliner quite a bit lately, but today I kind of want to just keep it as close to my lash line as I can. So I'm going to take a little bit with my brush, angled brush here, and just blend this out. For mascara, I'm using my Tower 28 Make Waves mascara, and I really have fallen in love with this mascara so much. I feel like I finally could see what this is doing for my lashes the other day when I decided to skip liner, and I was able to see how dramatic this makes my lashes look. Sometimes when you have a thick eyeliner and you put on mascara, sometimes it's really hard to see what the mascara is doing for you. So it's good to kind of try it without liner just so you can really see if it's giving you the length, the volume, the thickness, the drama, or whatever it is that you're looking for in a mascara. And I did that the other day just to kind of see what it was like. And I just love the results. Really, really enjoy this mascara. I think for blush, I want to use a kind of pinky tone. This is the Cloud Crush blush from Too Faced. This is the shade called Candy Clouds. This went viral several months back, and I was able to get mine through the actual Too Faced website because it was sold out everywhere. This is actually a dupe for the pink blush in the new Patrick Ta holiday, major holiday palette that I reviewed. This light pink here is exactly identical to the light pink powder blush that's in that palette. So if you don't have that palette or don't want to buy it, you want something similar that's more affordable, check this out because it's actually a really nice formula. I do enjoy this. And I'm looking for my blush brush. Where are, oh, hello. It was right here. It's one of those days. It's like right in front of me and I just don't see it. So I'm gonna just get my brush nicely covered and I'm gonna just tap off the excess, get rid of any excess, and then I'm just gonna kind of pat kind of higher up. And this color looks crazy, like it wouldn't be something natural, but it actually does look really pretty and ultra flattering on the skin. This from Too Faced, there's just something very velvety and blurring about this. I have actually two of these. The other one that I own is called Head in the Clouds, and this is actually a really nice formula. I wish that I would reach for these more than some of my other ones, and I just keep forgetting because they kind of get lost in the mess of my blush drawer, but they're really great. This one here specifically has been one that I've enjoyed quite a bit. So I want to do a little bit of brightening under my eyes, and I'm going to use my airbrush powder. This is the brightening one from Charlotte Tilbury, and I like to just use this to brighten and also kind of clean up under my eyes, remove any fallout. If my blush came a little too close or whatnot, I can use that to kind of erase my mistakes, hit the center of the forehead. But I primarily use this for the under eye area, and it truly does make a difference. And when I don't use this, I can tell. So that's a must. Love that. I've talked about that a lot. And then we have to do some highlight because I can't go without highlighter. So I'm going to use my MAC Soft and Gentle and just apply this to the high points of my cheek. And up here in the temples, down the bridge of the nose, tip of the nose. And I'm also going to use this to finish my eyes and use it as a highlighter for my inner corner because I don't want anything super shimmery and glittery. So I'm going to just take a small little brush and apply that to my inner corner, also the brow bone too. And this is just a small little brush from ColourPop. So now we have to do the lip combo. So let me show you my favorite lip products that I've been using nonstop that I kind of need to talk myself into using something else because I'm not showing any love to any of my other products. I've been starting off my lip look with the NYX Lip Liner in Nude Pink. This is actually a really nice, pretty pink shade. I love this, so I've been lining and filling with this. And I found a dupe in my collection. I've been loving my Posh lipstick from Victoria Beckham in the shade called Twist. Let me just show you. Pretty, ultra slim bullet, comfortable to use, beautiful formula. I love it. But my Laura Geller, okay, my Italian Marble lipstick in the shade called Berry Banana is exactly the same. Exactly the same. And I just could not believe that I had, this is an actual dupe. It's sitting right there, again, in my collection, right in my face, and I didn't even know it. That's my, like, go-to as of late, and I just adore that combination. So I figured, why not just show you this lip combo because it's just really pretty. So I'm going to take the lip liner, I'm going to line and fill. Okay, so here's what this looks like, just the lip liner lined and filled my lips. Sometimes I do overline with these pencils, and I just like this color, even though it's a little bit more pink, but I feel like it's kind of not too far off from my natural lip color. So I think that's why I like it, because once this combination wears off, I literally have a bit of a slight subtle stain effect left where I could tell that there's something there, but I can't quite see an actual lip product on my lips. So I think it's just because this lip pencil is pretty close to my lip color. So I'm going to show you the Victoria Beckham twist on my lower lip. So pretty. It kind of makes it just a little bit more kind of nude with a touch more brown. Then I'm going to do the Lauder. Can you tell the difference? I can't. And those are the two shades together. Absolutely love this combination. I like how it's pink, but not too pink. It's nude, but not too nude. It's just right, and I feel like it goes well with the pinky cheek and the pinky purpley kind of vibes on the eye. I don't know, I'm just having a moment, so I thought, why not just use some of this? This is the Naturium Phyto Lip Balm in the shade called Hibiscus, and I believe this is described as a hot pink shade, but when it is applied, it's more of a soft tint of color, and it gives you a little bit of pink. And I'm gonna put some on. Look at that gloss. Yes. I just love it. Do you see the glow and that glossiness that this gives the lips? I just adore this formula. I love this because it's cushiony, it's velvety, it's smooth, it's like butter. It kind of fills in the lines because my lips are quite liney. That's not even a word, but my lips just tend to be very dry and they just look, you can just see the lines more. It is what it is. So something like this, it's a little bit thicker, but more cushiony, kind of disguises that, glides right over it, and it makes my lips look fuller and just juicier, just better, much, much better. And I love this color. It's a hint of pink without being too over the top. It doesn't match the actual outside packaging. So don't let that scare you if you think that hot pink is just not your vibe. It's not that pink. There is some pink to it, but it's not that intense. And this also reminds me of the Summer Friday lip balms, which I was going to get a set during the VIB sale or the savings event, whatever they call it, at Sephora recently, and it's sold out. The little mini set, it's a perfect set to try. I love the Summer Fridays lip balm, but this is almost exactly the same thing, and these are 10 bucks. So I just love them, and they have so many different colors. So I think I'm going to have to order some more shades. They came out with a latte collection as well that I've had my eye on. It has some kind of brownie tones and some just lighter shades. They have a nice range of colors. So these give you that tint with that nice, beautiful shine, and it's just comfortable. It's all around a 10 out of 10. You got to try these if you haven't. And that, my friends, is the entire look today. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you had fun with me getting ready. I know it's a longer video, but it tends to be longer when it's get ready with me. We're chatting, just talking about all things makeup and just having some fun together. I appreciate you so much for being here. If you watched the entire video, thank you so much for spending some of your day here with me. Don't forget to check out the description box. Every product will be listed and linked for you down below. I appreciate you for being here, for taking the time to hang out with me. Don't forget to subscribe for more videos like this in the future. And you can also pay me a visit on Instagram. It's here on the screen. I hope to connect with you there. Take care, you guys. Talk soon. Bye-bye.